Hello, hello, and hello to you, lovelies who allow us every Saturday morning to home. What a joy, what a privilege, what great time we do have every Saturday morning. Perhaps you're on your way to an activity or a function, be it a wedding, a naming ceremony, a funeral, or something in between, a traditional wedding or engagement, anything else in between, or some other function, or you are traveling or something. But thank you for allowing us into your space, whatever that space is. My name is Michael Mensah, and this is Farm Life, your regular family enrichment program, live here on City 97.3 FM, meant to make us a better version of ourselves, having relationships, families, and homes, and also marriages. As always, we have meaningful discussions and whether with you. So you can keep your queries, comments, questions, contributions, and I've added a new one. Even disagreements coming via WhatsApp or Telegram on 0549 986 996. Again, 0549 986 996. Let's hear from you and let's do it together. What's on your mind, can I ask? Somebody will say a penny for your thoughts, or I'll say 10 cities for your thoughts. All right, so this morning we are discussing marriage and parenting, the old versus the new, and then we'll add many other angles that will keep this conversation meaningful. And let's hear from you as well. And so let me introduce these wonderful persons in the studio, and more will be joining us in a bit, and then we'll have the full squad. So, start from my right to my left. She's Rachel Gakpe, and they say I shouldn't say anything more, so I won't. Then the next one is called Berima Mensah. Good lady and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so the cues are these are young adults, and so they would be able to do justice to our topic, marriage and parenting, the old versus the new. So they are the new generation. And we'll look at how we dissect this morning. So let me start first from you, Rachel.
Okay.
What comes to mind when we speak about marriage, early marriage? How do you see it? How do you figure it out? What crosses you?
Okay. So a good marriage, I would say, is one that has God in the center.
Okay.
Right. Some people see marriage as a contract, but I see it as a covenant. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Rema, let me run the same question by you because I'm beginning to pick your thoughts. Yes. What is a good marriage for you?
Okay. So I believe that first of all, like Rachel mentioned, that is based on that has God in the center, and also where the couple are friends, that they can generally have a good. I feel that a friendship is very key to a good marriage. So it's you don't marry somebody that you feel strange around, or somebody that you have a free relationship with, even after the romance and all of that. So I think that that's another key thing, and then also that you're able to work towards purpose. So both of you are helping each other to fulfill the purpose that you are put on earth for, whatever I may entail. Yes, so I think in a nutshell.
All right, great. Now the next question. So I'll start from you this time, Berima. What comes to your mind when you hear about good parenting? And is there anything like that?
Oh yeah, good parenting. Yes, there's something like that, and I think that the the whole result is that at the end of it all, you'll be able to raise um children who can actually make an impact in life, and also fulfill what they were put on earth for. So not restricted to a particular way, but that is the end goal. That at the end of your nurturing, your grooming, they would have been brought up in a way that they can make impact and then fulfill what they were put on earth for. Yes.
Yeah, Rachel, I'm asking the same question to you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, good parenting is. I think there's okay, I would say that not everyone is perfect, right? But then we as parenting, they try their best to bring up the child, like Perima said, in a godly way, making sure that you are doing the best you can to raise up your child without any difficulties, without any I mean, there will be difficulties, there will be stumbling blocks, but you are trying your best to raise up a child in the best way you can, so that the person is impactful in society, the person can reach their maximum goals. And yeah.
Awesome. So, is it easy to be a good parent? From Burma, this for you. Watching a parent or parents or other parents you've known growing up, do you think it's an easy thing? Is a walk in the park to be a good parent? So now we are qualifying the good parent. Now we'll talk about what are the other types of parents, and then we'll pick your mind on that as well. Yes.
No, I don't think so at all. In fact, thinking about it, it is one of the, I think one of the very challenging tasks that like people can have, because taking care of your own life is one thing, but now taking care of other people that you are, this is merely, it's not merely like just suggestion. Like, you are responsible for what happens to their life. You are responsible for who they become. And the dynamics of children with different like temperaments, different personalities, different interests. So the way you may be is not the way that your child may be. Maybe you like things orderly, and then your child just likes to mess up everything. And so having the right balance to discipline, the right balance for where you allow the child to have room to express, giving them the counsel, whether they even receive that counsel or guidance that you're giving to them. Because if you look at the world now, there are many people who, even as they are being brought up, you can see that maybe their parents are trying their best, but as to whether the best is yielding the results, you don't really see. And so managing all those dynamics, so at the point where it doesn't seem to be working out, it's like your child has gone off the path that you wish they would be on, and all those dynamics involved. I think that it's a very interesting mix, and it's not an easy one. It's not, because it's not something you can just get up and say you'll not do it again because it's not working and all. But you are taking care of something not just for like 1 or 2 years, for some people so many years, and so I won't say it's a walk in the park at all, but God helps us.
Awesome. Rachel, do you think that there's any much difference between the role of a dad and the role of a mom, or you think that it's unilateral? So what dads can do, moms can do, or do you think that maybe all of them have a particular role to play to add to the kitty to make raising a functional and, as you both have said, a beneficial person to society and to themselves and to the family possible? What do you think?
I think that there are some rules that can cut across, but then there are some that they are specific to the father, and there are some that are specific to the mother. But I really do think that growing up without either one of them can also affect you in a way. And so needing both roles is important, is effective for a good bringing up. So if the father or the dad is not around, maybe the mother may try to step into some roles that the father needs to, but may not be able to execute it perfectly as if the father was around. So I think that there are things that are specific to a dad, specific to a mom, but then there are some things that cut across. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Now I want us to drill down a bit. We said the old versus the new in marriage and then in parenting. So that means that it's both in function, in style, and in the optics, how it appears. How different, or what are some of the old values? Let me start with you, Bima, again. What are some of the old values that are helpful for parenting, and then we'll come to marriage? You can maybe mention a few that you got, and then we'll go on. Yes.
Okay. So, some of the values, I would say one major one is faithfulness. To, I mean, on both ends, faithfulness to the partnership that you are entering into, and that is one major thing. And I feel like it encompasses a lot of other things like the integrity, the love, the um, openness, the honesty, and so yes, there are, and I think that a number of them also transcend to the new. I mean, for the ones that work, you can't really have. I mean, those values are not restricted to old or new. I think that they are restricted to the working marriages and then the not working marriages. I mean, any marriage that works, you always see those virtues in.
Okay.
I mean, you see faithfulness in, you see love, and you see kindness. It is something that ties with any marriage that will work. Any marriage that works, you see those virtues in.
Okay.
Whether it is an old generation or new generation, you're going to see those virtues in.
Okay. So if I'm hearing you right, you're saying that the good virtues actually don't have an expiration date.
Yeah.
So that is the old. It still transcends into the new. And then you mentioned some of them. You mentioned openness, transparency, faithfulness, honesty, kindness. Rachel, is there any you want to add? And then now we'll build down. Some more.
Respect.
Respect. Okay. How big is respect?
I mean, it's huge.
How huge? Is it like an elephant in the room?
Yeah, I think it's one of the backbones of both. It's one of the backbones of both marriage and parenting. In marriage, respecting each other.
Yes.
In parenting, also respecting each other.
Okay, so let me go a bit up close. So, would you expect that your parents, if you're, for instance, your dad, because you're a lady, is coming to your room, would you expect that as a sign of respect, you should knock, or should he say that I gave birth to you, where you are nothing, you are nobody. My wife conceived you, and now you are somebody. So I should be able to come into your room, though he's male, or even your mom is coming. How will respect look like in such a situation? And then does the age bracket also matter in the show of respect? So maybe when you're a little girl, they can easily come in, but now that you're a whole Gen Z lady, what do you think?
For me, I mean, if someone was in my room, I mean, yes, I understand it's your house. You can come in. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, that's how I was raised. They come in anytime, and it's fine with me. So I don't really have any pending, like, it's my room, we did not knock before he came inside, so I've vex or something. No, I mean, it's normal for me. I'm not doing anything bad. I'm not doing anything. If somebody was around, like a female friend, sure, that they know that, okay, nothing is going to happen, so it's not a problem. They can leave me in the room with her. But then if a male friend comes, obviously I'm not going to send him to my room.
Okay.
So that is not going to be an issue. So with respect, maybe with the age, yes, it comes when you're also growing up. It's sort of automatic that they realize that, oh, she's grown now, so, I mean, let's give her space, let's respect her space, let's respect her boundaries. Yeah, so that's it.
So respect is a big one as well. Right. Very much. Let me fly the same question to you. When it comes to respect from the perspective of a man, like I'm saying, the you guys are the Gen Zs, not so 1987 to 2012. That group. There's there are the millennials, and then the baby boomers and what have you. So you are the young adults. You are the ones in vogue. What does respect also mean to you?
I think, particularly for the newer generation, which is becoming more audacious, it is an even bigger, I don't know if I should say necessity. So, I mean, formally, from our cultural background, like, it's normal for parents to impose. It's normal for parents to drive you like a sheep to to wherever they want to take you to. So you barely have any say. Now in our new generation, and more children are becoming expressive, and so the moment they feel that they are not being respected, it gives room for rebellion. So he wants to do this course. You don't think that it is right, and you are trying to like push him to do what you want without maybe having a respectful conversation that, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm your father, all right, but because I respect you, I want us to discuss it, you know, or because I'm your mother, I want us to discuss it. I feel that approach works a lot more now because we're in the age where the freedom of expression and liberty seems to have gotten to the new generation's mind a lot. Because even if they are angry, they can go on social media and say it. In the former days, why are you going to
So that's like one of the differences, one of the huge differences. They can vent anywhere else.
I mean, in well, I wasn't born in those days, but who are you going to? If you're going to tell your auntie, she now is going to take you to your parents again to tell her that that's what the issue is. So you're going to keep everything to yourself, even if you have an issue with it. At the end of the day, it's going to be you. So respect now has become something that, especially for the new generation, needs, like, helps them to more or less like take the path that you want them to take. The force mechanism will often meet rebellion. I mean, people will usually resist it, especially now. You have, even if it's temperament wise, people who even are calm and collected, sometimes they're even more dangerous. They may not be saying it, but what they may have planned in their mind, what they may even be doing behind your back, is even worse, and we see that a lot now. So the respect will help you to, I think, one, have the, like, know what each other's stance is, and rather, instead of fighting each other, like, okay, let's see where we can head to. But when you come in with, and even with partners, same thing. Now women now are being more empowered to not be a silent voice as previously, where if your husband is sitting and he says something, you can't say anything, or even in certain cultures. But now everybody believes that they have a fair stand, so they will not condone like being restricted or being like looked down on and things like that.
All right, so let me welcome the third lady on the block. So the voice you're about to hear is the voice of Rita Segbaya. Rita, welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, so I have three powerful people in the studio this morning. Now let's drill down, the respect. We'll talk about all the other wonderful virtues, the kindness, the honesty, the transparency and all. And why I'm spending a bit of time on the respect is that because it undergets all, and it moves, like you both have said, it moves from the old to the new. But it's like now in the new, please run me through. Would you want to have controlling parents, especially when you are growing? I mean, you are young adults, so planning to, I'm sure in the very near future you don't want to move out and be on your own and all that. But help me understand, what's the difference between a controlling parent and a parent of influence? Where should the dynamics be, and would you like that? So I'll start with you, Rachel, then I come to you, Rita. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Controlling parents.
Controlling versus influential or influence. So must a parent be controlling, or must a parent be a parent of influence? Emma said that you mentioned further your parent must respect your boundaries. Then he brought in the fact that you can't impose and that you should have dialogue. So where does the two dynamics come in? One is the controlling nature, and the other one is the place of influence.
Yes. So the controlling nature, as Berema said, is sort of they are controlling you, they are imposing things on you. You are not going to do this. Oh, I want to read science in school. You said no, you are going to do general arts. It is like it's not non-negotiable, right? It's sort of controlling. Not okay, not say planned, but maybe some have planned everything for you down,
Okay.
and so now they are imposing it on you that okay, this is what you are going to do. You don't have a say, you don't have a choice. This is this, this is that. Maybe or maybe you want to go out or something, and they are like, no, stay in the house, sit down and learn, do this, do that. So that's their controlling part. They are not willing to hear your side. They are not willing to listen to you or hear your views. And in the influential, I think that it is they give you room.
Okay.
So it's sort of like they have influence in your growth,
Okay.
but then it's not being imposed.
Okay.
You have a say, you have a choice, but then probably it's not. They want what is best for you,
Okay.
but they will not impose it on you. So you might dialogue and say, okay, let's look at the pros, let's look at the cons on how it is going to impact your life, and then you sit down and talk about it. Then you reach a point, you reach a compromise. So it's not change na doing this,
Okay.
but then you sort of have them to do what you want, but then they also have a say, and they meet you at a sensible point,
Okay.
so that you're able to make the good decisions you want to.
Awesome. Yes. Now, Rita, I'm coming to you. Still in this mix of power of control and influence. So, which one would you say is more suitable, or does it depend on the stage of a person? Now, we're not talking about the young years of the early adolescence, the preschool years, and the early school years. We're talking about now coming on to the stage where, like, you are young adults, a late teen coming into the 20s. You get me? What would you say? Is it better to be more of the parent of influence, or will it be better to be a parent of control, or it depends? What will you say?
To a large extent, I'd say it depends. I'd say it depends because depending on the child's temperament or the personality traits the child has, some people may need some form of control, but
Okay.
not a restrictive type.
Okay.
Because when you go very restrictive, you tend to raise rebellious
Yeah.
children, especially when they're in their teens. Influential because the influence allows them to take initiative. So I prefer influential parenting because it allows the child to take initiative and know that, oh, I don't have to wait for daddy to come to say do A, B, and C before I can do this, or I don't need full guidance on what to do. I know that I can do this or I have to do that at one point or the other.
Okay. So, how do you marry? Still to you, Rita, the combination of daddy and mommy's concern and your preferences. So we all agree that they are older, they have a much wider worldview, and they have your interest at heart generally. How do you marry that against what the young adult wants to do and wants to be? How do you manage that conversation? Must it be always discussion, or there are times that you must be an instruction, or once you've crossed the threshold of passing the early teen years and below, it must be an issue of dialogue? Or are there still rooms where you have to sometimes the parent will instruct, or also where there's a deadlock, whose one is taking? Should it be the parent or should it be the child? What do you think?
I think when there's a deadlock, at that point, for the sake of peace, you just have to go ahead with what your parents want. But other times, you should be able to dialogue and come to a consensus on what works best for everyone. And also, it's also very imperative to get insights from parents because they've gone ahead, they've seen things that you've not seen, but they may not be going through the dynamics of your generation, but at least there's a basic line of life that they have gone through and they may have experience that can influence certain decisions you take.
So by and large, we must arrive at a consensus.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you all in agreement?
Yeah.
It may not always happen though.
It may not always happen. So if it doesn't happen, then
The parents
the
have
parents have their way.
Yeah.
Because how I've been on platforms where I've had a parent say that I tell my children, these are all young adults who are actually now all finished school and working, but they haven't left home yet. And then this parent on this platform says that I've told my children that they cannot under this roof. How would that rub on you? I mean, I'm sure I can have a quick response for all of you. Should it be, if what daddy or mommy wants you, or auntie or uncle, depending on who is the primary caregiver, is raising, should it be a reference to what they want because you're under their roof, or if it's a good value, like we're speaking of from values, must they bring in the roof element, or must they bring it for what it is worth? I don't know if my question is clear. So should they say you can't do this whilst you're under my roof, or must they say this is a good virtue that you should learn for life? What would you say? Let me start from you, but then I hear from you, the two ladies.
So I think maybe what drive the sometimes is the temperamental makeup of the parent, but a lot of the putting rules without really driving at what it would help. In the end, you see that the children will be doing it even behind their backs.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not this to even insist, even when it doesn't make sense. I'm not disputing that at all, especially when it is for right things. So I mean like this, I'm not in any way going to allow my child to even think of trying to change his gender. That one, even if he doesn't understand, if he wants PowerPoint and I'm not able to give it to him, it's something I'm not going to bend back on. But for a lot of the times, like I'm saying, especially in this generation, which feels more entitled, which feels that they have a louder voice now, maybe not even in front of their parents, but as a young person, they feel that they have certain rights and they are more bold. It would always be best to, like you're saying, drive at what it is worth. So why am I telling you not to be hanging out with these friends? This is the reason why I'm doing this. It's not because I don't want you to have a social life. Or why am I telling you that when you go to school, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. It should be for what it's worth, because one, at the end of the day, you will not be with the person making a decision. And I think one of the wrongest, I don't know if there's a way like that, misconceptions is that parents can control fully their children's life, and only when they want to keep them safe, so you don't want your child to go into certain areas. You're trying to restrict him so much, but we find out that most of such children, when they enter the real world, they even do worse off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying, you are agreement. Okay.
Yeah.
We got something going. Listen, if you are just joining us, this is Farm Life, your regular family engagement program, live here on City 97.3 FM. And this morning I'm in the studio with Yas Segbaya, Berima Mensah, and Rachel Gakpe, and we are discussing marriage and parenting, the old versus the new. And so far we are getting down big stuff. They are all in agreement that yes, they say if you only insist, you create rebellious to them, because I think they are again that now the Gen Zs feel more entitled, and they have a place of expression. If not even your face, they'll put it on social media. So we'll get there too. Please carry on. Yes.
Yeah. So in that like desire to try and like keep your children safe, that's where like the feeling of controlling them fully comes in. But I don't see hope for the best, but like I'm saying, at the end of the day, because you're the one who's going to make the decision, you don't even want to make it short term. You don't want it to be just for a house that they'll not be making such decisions. You want it to be something that they understand that this is something that I should not do because of this and this and this and this. So if you're able to bring that understanding to them that, okay, this is the reason why I'm saying this. This is the reason why I'm encouraging you not to tour this path. So that at the end of the day, now, like I'm saying, it's not even short term. So it's not even just when they're in your house.
Okay.
When they go for a party,
Yes.
he will not do it. When he goes for a sleepover, he will not do it.
Okay.
Because he has gotten to understand why I shouldn't do this.
Okay.
You can control in your house, but don't find other ways to express it. That's why you go and your children are living other kinds of lives in SHS.
Okay.
And living other kinds of lives in university, because he never understood why. He just thought that it was a cage. Now he's out of the cage. I mean, it's like an animal that hasn't eaten for days. It's going to find its own food and do. But if you let him understand, oh, this is the reason why I don't want you to do this. Like I'm saying, I'm not disputing the fact that sometimes you may need to insist, because maybe the child may not understand why you are doing that.
Yes.
But it shouldn't be the first approach.
Okay.
It shouldn't be the first resort. Like, you should always yearn to bring them home to what you are trying to target, what you are trying to encourage them to do. And if that doesn't work, then we can look at other ways of still bringing them to that line. But the control and force first to just maybe solve a temporary solution, but in the long run it's even worse.
Okay. I see the ladies are nodding. Rachel, yes, what do you say also?
Yeah, I think I agree with Berma. The more you try to put someone, like, there's this thing that's like, when you put pressure on something, it tends to rupture.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if you are going to continue caging your children or something, it's like Berma said, when they go to SHS, when they go to university, it's going to be a different story. And we've seen that with some people. And it's sort of it's crazy. You see, you've grown up with some people and then you realize that, hey, when if you come to school there, you tell your parents, so is this the same person? Is this the same person we are seeing that we grew up with? Because you see that when you tend to cage, you try to impose things on people, to get to a point, they'll get fed up. And when they get that freedom that they want, I bet you won't serve. So I mean, our parents, I mean, you should try and understand us too at a point, because it's not if you continue to impose, it's slight freedom, then everything goes to waste. And so it is let's try and understand, let's reach a consensus, let's do this, because if you are going to continue, then you are probably going to lose your child. So.
Wow, if you're going to continue, you're probably going to lose your child. That's the voice of Rachel Gakpe, and we are discussing marriage and parenting, the old versus the new. And keep your comments, queries, questions, contributions, and even disagreements coming via WhatsApp or Telegram on 0549 986 996. Again, 0549 986 996. I come to you, Rita. Ever cool, Rita. You mentioned temperaments, and then, so are you three folks in agreement that the expression "not under my roof" may not necessarily be helpful?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's not helpful, because I'm thinking of it in a logic point of view.
Yeah.
Because like, you can't do this, so you can do this.
Okay.
So you can't do this under my roof. When you go out, you can't do it.
Okay.
That's basically what it implies.
Okay.
In simple terms. But when you say that, oh, if you do this way,
Yes.
this is the outcome.
Okay.
Is that the outcome you're looking for? The outcome will be at the back of the child's mind whenever they are doing something. Because everyone is entitled to a decision.
Okay.
At the end of the 5 hours, that's what I am going to do. Or okay, today I want to listen to my parents. Then the child is doing it.
Okay.
You, no matter what you do, no matter the amount of control you have over your children, you can never control their decisions. Or you can never even control the thoughts that come to mind.
Wow, again, so no matter the amount of control you have over your children,
you
yes.
can never control their decisions.
Oh, so they can think from what they want to do.
Yeah.
Is that what leads to the double life, like in at
Exactly.
home. A
Yeah,
girl
well,
will wear normal,
Exactly.
all well covered dress.
Yeah.
Yet when she goes to
out.
the uni or goes out, she
Don't know.
dresses completely differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is so it's a hard thing.
Yes, I think it's something that's inbuilt.
Mm.
So it's the same way whether I go to church, whether I go to school. Because recently with things that have come up on the news, I was like, I see things and I'm like, didn't they teach us this in social studies? How come you are doing the same thing they taught us in social studies?
Okay.
It shows us that no matter the socialization process
Yes.
a child goes through,
Yes.
at the end of the day, they get up and they reach a point where they can take their own decisions. Even a 5-year-old,
Yes.
now you can tell a 5-year-old stop. You tell you to face that I will not stop. And you will not stop because even 5-year-olds
Yes.
can make decisions.
Okay.
So no matter how much you try to control something, you can't really determine the outcome.
That's interesting. So then does it mean that parenting in this new 21st century requires a different pool of skills, tools, and approaches as against the conventional where you say, sit down, don't go out. And even sometimes they deny you the basic for misbehavior. Are you saying, Rita, that parenting has taken on a whole new dynamic, and so parents need to adjust, adapt, and then be more sensitive and more proactive? What do you see?
Yes, I think there's been a change when they were raised,
Okay.
and you don't know what they were taught. But I did some research yesterday, and it says that in the past, parenting was more authoritative.
Yes.
But now, back to the whole idea of socialization process. Today we sit down and then the GAS changes the syllabus to include what they feel like must be included. So you are saying one thing at home and the syllabus is saying something else.
Okay.
The teachers have their own character that the child may be learning from. Because now, mind you, parents are going to work.
Yes.
Children are 8 hours in school. So they are spending a lot more time with their teachers, especially if parents are also busy over the weekend and can't take care of their children. They are learning from different sources. We come to share. Everyone has their opinion on social media.
Okay.
There are various things that are feeding into the life of the parent one and even the child one. Another. So parents have to find ways and means and to adapt and make sure that they are doing their best. At the end of the day, you can only do your best. You can't really determine what the child will do.
Awesome. Very much. So, and this, I'm sure, what are some of the things then? Is modeling from the perspective of a parent important? Should it be that they say, do what I say, but don't do what I do? Or a combination of do what I do and do what I say? That's one. And two, is it in the capacity of the parent to necessarily raise a positive, like the Constitution puts it, right-thinking member of society? Or are there some other undertones? Some of you mentioned, I think Rachel started and you concluded. Does God make any difference in this scheme of things? So the first thing I'm asking is whether modeling should be both in talk and in word, or should just be in word, where I say do what I say and not what I do, or must it be a combination of the two? And the other thing is that, are there any extensions, any anchors or anchor that helps parents to manage the dynamic? Because if all of you are saying without any equivocation that a child decides and that goes beyond your control, so even though you may insist and they may show it up to you, that is not what they may do if that's not what they have decided. What do you say, sir?
So I was just thinking about it, and I believe that one of the reasons why maybe in the past a lot of parents were even going the authoritative way is maybe a perceived easier way. So force, like moving people with force is considered a bit more easy than dialogue.
Okay.
So if I get up I mean, SHS experience. When you're a prefect and you have to move 1,000 people, each one of them is saying, "Oh, we want to go to the dining hall, so I'll go and eat. So please, can you move?" It's so much work talking to each of those 1,000 people than getting up and shouting that, "Hey, I'm counting to 10. If you don't get to the dining hall, I'll beat you." It's an easier way in your mind, and I think that for a lot of parents, it felt like the easier way to get their children to come up the right way. Another aspect is the fear of raising them wrong. So instead of I mean, in the desire and the passion to get them to tread the right path, you want to more or less lock all the
excesses.
Yes. So you want to put in regulations in the hope that, oh, like, okay, if my child doesn't hang out after 9, she'll be a good girl. If my child doesn't have a phone till like she's married, she'll be safe. But you and I understand that because especially now that the world is becoming very scary, we feel that safety is isolation, and we feel that safety is control. So my child doesn't know better, so let me show her what is better, and let me push her to do what is better. But I think that's where the God factor comes in. Like Rita was saying, the end goal and the final decision you can't make for the child, because one, even if you are able, let's assume that your child doesn't put up a front, and you're able to direct the course of her life for the first 20-30 years, after 30 where you are not there again, she may not be able to live. Because if she was going to see a boy, her mother is telling her, okay, go for this boy, this is a nice boy, it's a class A student, so. But now she has to make the decision herself. This a guy is walking up to her to talk to her in the workplace. Her mother is not there. She doesn't know whether she continue the conversation or not. She's going out with friends. She doesn't know that she should wear this dress or she shouldn't wear this dress, because her mother is not there to tell her that, okay, this dress is nice. Her friends are saying she should put on this makeup. She doesn't know whether it's something she's comfortable with or not, because she's not really discovered her identity and not giving room to express it in the right way or develop it in the right way. So now after that control is over, she doesn't have a life. She doesn't have an identity. She doesn't have a frame of thinking because it has been directed by somebody else. So the modeling, and so if you are talking about the modeling too, it's, I mean, no doubt that it's important. And like I'm saying, sometimes too, in the fear to raise the children in the right way, you don't want them to see your flaw so that they'll be perfect. But I was thinking about this whole parenting thing, and I realized that, I mean, one thing that has helped me, especially with life, I'm a perfectionist. So things going out of order really distorts me. So sometimes when I even think about my children and the fact that so you're going to make wrong choices in life. Like, how is it going to be? Is it going to be in bad company? Like, thinking about things like that. He's going to be a bad boy. Like, thinking about what if that happens? How am I going to handle that? How am I going to handle the fact that my children will not know God? Like, maybe for 20 years. And every day I'm praying on their head and nothing is happening. But God told me, like, and gave me this picture of life as an adventure. So you're not too worried about the 100% cruising, where like things are going flat line. If they dip, you are still able to go through that and like keep going. Otherwise, like when things dip, you're going to throw in the towel. You're going to be like, hey, what's happening? The moment your children go off, it's like, I've lost it. Like everything has cast. Like, so how am I going to handle this? How am I going to raise them up in the right way? Like, and that's where maybe now the force is coming in. So you see that he's not listening to you again. So you're telling him that you have grounded him for 10 years and things like that. But we have to, I think that if you see the life as an adventure perspective, we'll allow our children to grow in the like freely. Not that they're going to do everything that they want to do, but you're going to take time to help them, more like win them. So he's going to have room to make mistakes. Because sometimes when people don't make their mistakes, they may not really understand. And I sit down and look at some of the decisions that my parents, like, I won't say made for me, but insisted on. And another time why I didn't understand this, but down the line, it makes sense.
Okay.
Like now, I thank God for my parents waking me up every morning for quiet time.
Okay.
Those times, I mean, even though it felt like people will say that, oh, yeah, it's being religious and things. At that time, it may not make sense, but now I know what God was doing with my life. When you're waking up at 5 a.m., you wish you could sleep till 10. And you're like, what? In someone's house, it's not a problem. Let me find my God and do what.
Yeah.
But now you realize that if that thing wasn't in place, you may never have had what you have now.
Okay.
If your parents hadn't pushed you to be studying in certain, you may never be serious. By the time you decide to be serious, you are finished. You have gotten a degree, and that's not the course you wanted to do. Your life is practically wasted. So that fear is there. But now, like I'm saying, if we are able to take an approach where we're not afraid of the mistakes, but we are taking a journey to be able to, even in those mistakes, like progress.
Okay.
So like I think you used to say that a lot. It's about progress, it's about progress, not perfection.
Okay.
So every day we're moving forward. So even if we dip, in that dip, how can we manage that situation? How can we get back? Okay, what was wrong? What can we do better now? It would like keep making strides. So he's not listening to you now.
Okay.
How can I help him listen to me?
Okay.
I'm allowing him to maybe go into this area, but maybe I'm not too sure about it. The key thing is I want him to progress. I'm not key about the perfection. So even if you get F maybe today,
Yes.
I'm not too worried. But I want him to learn that, okay, this is the reason why you got F. So the next time you will not do that.
Yes, okay.
And then in that now, it will help them to open up.
Okay.
So you are able to now share your whole life with your children. And I think that's one key thing. When children know that sometimes it's because of things like this or things that you have gone through, that's why you are letting them not do this.
Okay.
They may not say it, but they understand now. Like, so he knows that you are a bad boy and they cost you things. Now when you're telling him that you don't want him to be a bad boy, even if he's proud and not opening his mouth, then when he goes to his room, he's now thinking about him more. So he's not seeing you as boss.
Okay.
He's seeing you as somebody who really cares for his life.
Okay.
And I think that's what the modeling does. So when they see that now, it's not just like you're saying, say what I say and don't do what I do. You have said and you have done. And because of that, you want him to follow. You don't want him to either follow that bad path. You want him to follow the good path.
Okay.
So he knows that every decision that you be making now is in his interest.
Okay.
If it was just like command, he feels like you want to control his life and enjoy yours. But if he knows that you want both of you to enjoy their life,
Yes.
now he'll be more open to the decisions and the inputs that you be making.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Now, Rachel, let me go on the modeling thing. As you're speaking, I was thinking, must parents show unconditional love or must they conditional love? So that if I want you to do A, B, and C, and you don't do it, I should not show extreme love towards you. I should show limited love. I should not be kind towards you. I should not show benevolence. Or must it be that a parent shows unconditional love, so that no matter what you do or how you do it, you should know that you have the anchor of the unreserved, unconditional. Rachel, I'll come to you the way I say, Rachel, I'll come to you the way you're looking at me coolly after Rachel. Must it be, what must the posture of love or affection or commitment be from parents to the children?
I think it is, it should be unconditional love.
Okay.
Taking it into the Christian perspective, as Christians, we are supposed to model Jesus, we're supposed to model God. And so God loves us unconditionally in spite of. And so bring that down to earth as our earthly parents should love us in spite of what decisions we are going to take, in spite of what we do or what we are going to do. And so it's not depriving someone of your child of love is going to be helpful. It's not going to impact in any way. And so I read somewhere that children are for God, parents are just caretakers.
Okay.
So what if you are modeling what God would do because they are his children?
Yes.
So then love has to be unconditional in spite of what you are doing. And then if you are also modeling that, Rita says that children learn from what they see.
Okay.
And so once you are modeling that, your children also learn from that. They see that even when I do this, my dad still loves me regardless of what I've done. They don't, like, I mean, there's discipline, but then they don't punish, right? They don't punish me, or I'm not deprived of their love because I made an error. And that is how God is. Because when you sin, when you fall short, He's still there in spite of what you have done. He still loves you. And so it should be unconditional love in spite of what you've done. Your parents are still there for you. And then once that is established, it trickles down generations, because what your child is seeing you doing learns from it, and then when a person grows up, also gives that same unconditional love to their child.
Okay, so let me push you further before I come to Rita. In the same modeling mode, I am of the opinion, and I stand to be corrected, that if parents have learned and work with the principles of no insults, no fights like throwing things, they should sometimes let their children see their disagreements, and sometimes even bring the children into arriving at a consensus. Before I come to, what do you think? Or should they go and always have their disagreements in the bedroom and close doors? Would that create a perfectionist posture for you? So then when you enter your own marriage, then you begin to think that, oh, my dad and mommy never had a quarrel or never had a disagreement. What do you think on that?
I think that, I mean, you have to be real. You have to be real with your children. Once you try to start covering it up, eventually it will come out. But you have to be real with them very soon. Like as you said, when they get married too, they will start having their own issues. And so it's better if they see, I mean, probably may not be all the time, but then it's better if they see what is happening, and then when, like in the marriage, you guys even like talk about it and things, you can also speak to the child about it, that when you get married and you and your husband are having a quarrel, make sure that
no insults,
yes, no insults, no this, no that,
fightings.
Yes, exactly. It says that as women are supposed to submit to your husbands, and so if you see a scenario like that, like your parents are fighting or something, and maybe they are done, maybe your mother will come and talk to you that this is what the Bible says, you're supposed to submit to your husband. So your child is also able to learn from what they are seeing. They're also able to learn from what you teach them. So it's helpful if they see. So you don't create a facade that, oh, it's beautiful, there are no quarrels and things, but then you are bringing them, you are letting them see that this is how it is. It's not easy like that. It's not on the floor. Right? Okay. And so you are preparing them for how also to handle theirs in case they have those issues.
Thank you very much. Listeners, if you are just joining us, this is Farm Life, your regular family engagement program, live here on City 97.3 FM. And we are discussing parenting and marriage, the old versus the new. And with me is Ritaya Segbaya, Berema Mensah, and Rachel Gakpe. And so far, a lot has been said. If you are just joining us, you missed a lot. When we upload it on Farm Life with MM, you can get the chance to re-listen to it. Now let me come to Rita before we go on a break. This whole dynamic modeling, which the two have already given us some information on, is it as simple as that? Are parents perfect beings, or are parents conflicted in the ability to show forth a good posture and then deal with their own answers? So it's a PhD question. And so can we see that all, or is it all, or some parents are work in progress, one of us is work in progress, modeling done in such a way that the intended purpose of influencing the child is a
okay. This actually has to flow, or a path where, let's take a plane. A plane is supposed to go to reach a certain destination. The path is cut out.
Yes.
You can't control the turbulence. You can't control the storms that will come. So you can model life, but the ups and downs you can't control. So you have to find a way. So if, let's say, oh, you've lived your life doing the do as I do, or I'm saying this, do this, and all that. But if you've cut out this path, no matter what, there's probably, even if it's a stream, you can be chattering it. There can be a rock that will cause the water to go up and come down,
Okay.
or something to cause a little turbulence, but it doesn't distort the path that the water is supposed to go through. What I'm saying that for modeling, you can
Yes.
do everything in your best capacity,
Okay.
but however the person scenario on parenting,
Yes.
or parents arguing and fighting and things for children to see, I totally agree that they can do all those things for the children to see. But one thing we didn't say is that add the resolution.
Okay.
Let the children also see the resolution. Otherwise, they think that it's always fighting, then they go back to normal. They don't just go back to
Yes,
normal.
they
Because
resolve.
if you don't resolve the problem,
Yes.
you are just creating you're imprinting the child's mind that, oh, as for marriage, you
It's
hurt somebody
fighting.
tomorrow, you just go on.
Doesn't
It doesn't
matter.
work like that. Resolve it.
Okay.
So there are certain nuances that come with parenting and modeling
Okay.
that have to be done for everyone to see that, oh, yes, we are facing certain challenges, but everyone is work in progress.
Okay.
Whether mother, father, child, even the in-laws that sometimes people don't want to bring into the picture. Everyone is work in progress.
Okay.
Everyone faces different challenges that affect how they, react to things or display. Because some people, their lives are movies. That's how I say it.
I like that.
Some people, their lives are movies, and some people come tell you things that they've been through. You're like, is this real? But everyone is different. Just hope that things get better
Yeah.
in their own way.
Awesome. Awesome. Applaudissez, applaudissez, applaudissez. I want to say a big shout out to Mr. Sylvester and Special Lady Priscilla Segbaya. I want to say a big shout out to Michael and Abigail Mensah, and a big shout out to Reverend Gilbert and Constance Gakbe. Your children are saying deep things this morning, and we are all learning. Like we always say, the biggest room in the world is a room for improvement. We'll take a break, and then when we come back, we are going to look at the social media dynamics, because you guys are the of the new age. I hear there's something. I hear a lot of you are on Snapchat. Why is Snapchat more popular now than WhatsApp and the Facebooks and all? I want to look at all that. I'm happy, Pat. I have you here this morning. Rita agrees, and I think they all do that. We are all work in progress, and I've said it here severally that it is not an excuse for doing the wrong thing, but it's to help us have the posture of learning. Because then when you think you know it all, you may dance naked. And I want to take one of the messages that has come in. This person chose not to give us the name, but says, "Good morning from life." Okay, let me say, I am Mona Bell from Peve. This good morning from life. I am Mona Bell from Peve. God bless you all for all you do. I used to hear the phrase "not under my roof" a lot as a child. And I used to ask myself if I'm being brought up in a way that when I grow, I will not depart from it, or I'm being brought up in a way that once I'm on my own, I can do anything. I used to think a lot about words and actions, but I am a melancholic person, so I am unable to draw my parents' attention to the impact those phrases and actions were having on me. I turned out to be a bit off guard in their absence, but the word of God and my parents' different strategies helped me bounce back. So I can confirm that all that you are saying is true. Thank you. So that's by Mona Bell from Peve. She says that she agrees to you guys. I know, if I say guys, I'm not being fair. She agrees with you folks. I don't want to get in trouble. Good morning from life. I also think good parenting is to train your children to make good judgments, to enable them the value of every decision they make, and also be able to learn from their mistakes. This is Justice from Community One, Tema. All right. So now let's come in then. Please keep your comments, queries, questions, contributions, and even different opinions coming via WhatsApp or Telegram on 0549, and we all will learn, because we are work in progress, and it's not an expression for lameness or an excuse to keep doing the wrong, but it's a positive posture to help us to keep learning, relearning, and unlearning. Because I believe you me, in this life, if you really want to do the best you can, definitely there will be those three things. And so if you feel that you are all be all, know all, do all, then you may be raising a generation that you think you know. But as our three lovely panelists are telling us, you may be a far cry from the reality. And I mean, do you ever see that aspect? This person, there was a phrase in that said, were you expecting something else? Did you ever see it on TV? Okay. I mean, can't even remember what brand it was. But there was a man, and then he had a blind date and online. So when the woman showed up, she was big or below, and he was very figurine, and so he was cute and smallish, and this woman comes and she's all so big and huge. Then the woman said, why? Were you expecting something else? So now let's come to the substance. Thank you all so much so already for all the good stuff. So let me start with you, Rita, and come to the rest. Social media is another big animal. It's another big elephant in the room. What does it mean to you folks, the Gen Zs and all now there? I mean, what does it mean to this young generation? Because back in the time, we had only one TV station, okay, which was not on all the select programs that your parents may allow you to watch. There was Talking Point before Osofodazi, which was an account drama, which was very interesting. So when you misbehaved, you had the night of watching that and all. Now you guys, there's a plethora of channels. There's a traditional media, which are already so many already. Then there's all the unconventional media. There's all the social media networks, from YouTube to Facebook to Twitter, or now they say X, to what have you, Snapchat, and to now, I hear they do some crazy stuff sometimes on this Chinese one, what do you call it? TikTok, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. How does that feature in the scheme of things for the young folk? Is it, Emma once data had run out and we need to upload. When we uploaded, the excitement in the house, I said, hey! so though we are at home, we are all connected. Yeah. So now data may even mean more to people than food. Can that, is that, what do you say? Yeah, yes.
So social media, I feel it means different things to different people.
Okay.
Right. So WhatsApp is mainly a communication platform. It's like SMS, but it's not as expensive when we think of it. That is why I believe a lot of people are more inclined to social media, because there's life. When you think about SMS, you don't see anyone's video, you don't see anyone's picture. When it comes to social media, you're seeing pictures, you're seeing videos. People are speaking to you, people are sending you voice notes, people are sending you videos, and all sorts of things. Now, people may argue that when it comes to social media, you get to see a lot of things. But I think most of the things we see on social media in the beginning are things that sometimes we can't control. But as time goes on, the algorithm learns your patterns. The algorithm learns what you like to see, and they provide that kind of information for you. I realize that most of the time, if I go on my Instagram, I'm mostly on my feed, and my feed has people I follow, and people who may follow me sometimes, and then sometimes now they've included adverts. So you can't really control the adverts you see. But I realize that if you are constantly on watching reels, they tailor their reels to things they have. And when you're signing on TikTok, for instance, they ask you, what type of content do you like to see?
Mm.
And you select 3 or 5.
Okay.
So they provide you things based on your interest. So if your child is seeing something regularly,
Yes.
it's not a matter of social media has brought this to my child.
Okay.
You should rather find out who your child is in communication with and how the person is influencing your child, because the child probably has searched things up. Sometimes it's just once.
Okay.
I mean, I've just have searched for something once, and then that is it. When you think of your phone, right now our phone is the biggest sellout. Our phones are our biggest sellouts
Okay.
because I may be having a conversation with Berima on
Yes.
WhatsApp,
Okay.
and I may say that, or even a phone call, I wanted to buy this dress.
Okay.
Realize that if you go to your Instagram,
Yes.
if you go to your Snapchat, go to your TikTok,
Yes.
all those is just dresses that's showing up, and all
Okay.
this because these apps and things have data tracking algorithms, or even sometimes even your voice. They have access to certain things on your phone.
Okay.
That's based on certain conversations you have. They channel to you. So as for social media, I think you are the biggest. You have the biggest control over what you see or
Okay.
what you engage with on social media.
So does temperament or personality traits come in here with that, or is it also based on exposure, or is it also based on a person's level of curiosity? What is the mix that influences that level of what you, because that's the last thing you said, that it depends on how you use it. So what are some of the issues that influence the usage in view of some of the things I've said?
It's a mix of everything.
Okay.
Sometimes if people are music inclined,
Yes.
or they want to be in a certain mode, so they'll go and, let's say YouTube, they go on YouTube and they want to listen to either R&B or they want to listen to worship music. Those things, it depends on the person's mood. Sometimes curiosity, maybe I heard this word, or I heard that I can learn this on YouTube, so let me go and check. Then they go and check. Sometimes I'm looking for something, I want to, let me check my Instagram, I'm sure I'll find it there. I'm looking for a certain meme or something. It's a mix of everything. Depends on the time and the situation.
Okay.
So if, let's say, I want to find farm life, if I look on Instagram, I'm not finding farm life. I'll look on TikTok, if I'm not finding it, I'll go to YouTube.
Okay.
So social media, it's just a mix of a bit of everything.
Would you say, before I come to Rachel, that should parents be on those platforms? Must parents monitor what their children are watching, or must they rather focus on helping them to know what is helpful for them or not helpful for them? The age bracket. So if the child is younger, that's under the age of some level of control. Must parents be on in Snapchat, on all this X and what have you, or must they rather focus on training them, or must it be a mix? That's one. And how about when they get into the late teens and young adult stage, where now they are responsible for their life to a large degree? You hear me? What will you see? Then I come to Rachel.
With social media,
Yes.
I feel like if you as a parent have decided to get your child a phone, then you have a lot of work to do.
Okay.
Especially if their child is like 10 years and things like that. Because recently I found out that predators are finding children even through the Bible app.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because the Bible app,
Okay,
you
you
can
can
have
add
friends
friends.
on the Bible app.
Okay.
So people are finding means to do evil things even on the Bible app.
Okay.
Wow. And social media, a lot of it, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they are people's businesses.
Okay.
Most of the time, they really don't care about you and your family. So if as a parent you decided to give your child a phone, then I don't know. I don't know how best you can control, because you can only do so much. If you decide to go and be on Instagram because your child has an Instagram and you follow your child on Instagram, your child can create a private account. The account is private. Unless the person adds you back, you can't see all the things. So it's a very nuanced space.
Okay.
I know Google, for instance, has a family feature where the parents can control their children's accounts, especially now that schools have said that, oh, we'll be sending you Google
tablets,
Classroom
yeah,
and things like
yeah.
that. But it's a very
So, do you think, and that's my last question for now, do you think that getting your child on the device which opens them up to all the various social media dynamics is not helpful when they are young? What would you say? What do you think?
it's as for this one, I think it's not helpful.
Okay.
But some people find opportunities, let me put it that way. Like how we have child actors.
Yes.
Now we have child influencers who have their own podcast and are telling us what they want to tell us. I find it very funny when people are like, the Gen Z is that, the Gen Z is that. Have you seen Gen Alpha?
The alphas are something else.
Gen Alpha is telling us that, why are you telling me to wear this dress? The dress is on my knee. Why are you telling me
To
that
make
the dress
it
is short?
longer.
Yes. And it's just very funny when
But it is also a ploy to only distort family values, societal norms, and the right thinking of humanity. Because unfettered, is it not the worst kind of bondage? What do you think? Then I'll come to Rachel.
I think it actually is. Too, like we say, too much of every bad. Everything should have boundary. Right. People will say that you are not exposed, that you are saying certain things. So that's why I think certain boundaries should be where they are. But if you don't put certain boundaries in place, you are creating more trouble for us, because a lot of people tend not to have regard for family values anymore, because we are in a global village. This person is saying that this is how someone's raising their child, so why are you not raising your child like this? And there are so many voices, too many voices that coming in. So if you don't create a certain boundary for yourself, you may just end up being the worst person.
That's all. Rachel, still on the social media, which ones in your opinion are highly patronized by the Gen Alphas and the Gen Zs?
So right now,
Yes.
there are 4.
Okay.
In fact, okay, so there's Snapchat, there's Instagram, there's X, there's TikTok, and even now there's streaming apps like Twitch, and there's another one I've forgotten, and that is what most of us are on now. Even Telegram, yes, even Telegram. I remember when Telegram came. If your child had Telegram on their phone, you should be scared, because the things that were happening on Telegram, it was serious. And I mean, people leveraged it and create. So anytime we have channels and groups, and people leveraged it, create channels, and then they are releasing someone's nudes. They are releasing someone's nudes. Yeah, on Telegram.
I see. Doesn't stop then.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped. But I remember when Telegram, it was crazy.
and they'll just release it without your permission. They'll bring it into your stream without you going to solicit.
Like I said earlier, it depends on what platform you are on, or what you see on the social media. So if you are on a certain channel, you know that this channel, this is what they do there.
Okay.
So why are you there if you don't want to see it?
So they create even channels for betting, and they put odds there.
You know, betting is a big issue.
Yeah.
You know,
our generation is.
And you know, the interesting thing about life is that just like alcohol and smoking, everything, we say that it's your choice, but often what we don't say is that people react or respond differently. So much as somebody can put a break, there are a lot more who cannot, because once they get attached, they go on to addiction. And so betting is a big one now for the young. I know there was a time I what do you call it, part of the links I have, trainings I have, I picked up a documentary from BBC. It was like a 30-minute documentary, and the title was Gamblers Like Us. And this guy he was a gambler, had gotten addicted, and was trying to kick the habit. So it was about Africa, certain youth, young people, Gen Zs in Africa. Can you imagine that one in the story? There was this guy who actually committed suicide. You know why? Because his school fees, university school fees, that his parents had struggled to put together for him. He went to use it to gamble, and he lost it, and he didn't have the nerve to face it. They would have preferred. That's where the unconditional love I keep saying comes in. Because if you've been the tyrant or the controlling or the authoritarian parent all through, they can't face you. But if you've left a room, not that you are encouraging the wrong thing, then even when that happens, they will come and face you and say that I'm heritable. You get me? If you have you to stay at home for 2 years, would they prefer that better than you being gone forever? You get me? So please, please carry on.
Yes. So I mean, social media has some positives and some negatives.
Okay.
So as Rita said, it depends on what you are feeding it. For Instagram, if something pops up and you watch it, they will suggest it to you again.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So if curiosity takes you there, then you're in trouble.
Pardon?
If curiosity takes you there for the first time, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, in trouble.
They'll feed it for you.
So if a reel comes up,
The end.
If I have to watch it to the end, you have,
Repeat it.
oh, okay, you have to watch to a certain length.
If you don't like it, then you just
Okay.
so you have the choice to do not instead.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yes, but if they see that you've watched it and you go to your phone, you see it's there playing.
Really?
So once curiosity seeps in and you get interested in something, it's going to continue appearing. So that's how Instagram 2 works.
Okay.
For Snapchat, we use it because
Yes,
Okay,
sir,
but-
because somebody says, snap. And then they say, okay, I'll get to you.
I thought you're on a mission, father.
Oh, I'm a dad. I'm learning. I want to, and I want all to learn. You get me? Because we are poles apart. We said the old and the new. How can the old kind of parent be modernized or at least transition where necessary? And what I'm picking from you guys is that it's not so much necessarily being on the app that will keep, because Rita is saying that they can create incognito app. So you think that you know what they are doing, but
You don't.
so I think the biggest one is the modeling, then the instilling the values.
and also
Not so.
creating this open with you.
Okay, so then they can open up and tell that, oh, this is my channel, this is why I go here. Okay, I said, please carry on. Yes.
Yes, I think for my generation, for Snapchat, we like it because for the people I'm with, yes, it's, you guys, I've been fortunate to grow up with good friends. So yeah, it helps us catch up, know what someone is up to, and I mean it's convenient for us, not really. So you don't really have to go in person to see what somebody is doing. But then once the person sends a snap or a snap, you see what the person is up to. And with Snapchat, you're also able to keep up streaks.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you send a snap, if I send a snap to you and she sends me a snap every day, we build a number, so we can increase every time. And so it's sort of fulfilling. Yes, that maybe we've been talking for 10 days, we've been talking for 12 days, we've been talking for 100 days, 1,000 days, and then you see the number there, we've been seeing what each other is up to.
Oh, so, all that shows.
Yeah, all that shows. So
what does that do? You mentioned this engaging. What does that do to an individual? You know, Anthony Robbins, Maslow first set the hierarchy of needs. You get me? Then Robbins came later and developed the 6 human basic needs, from certainty to variety to significance. How does all these things impact a person? So these are the app developers, and AI is seeing us and nuancing us to our nuances, so that at the end of the day it derives from us a certain pleasure, certain good feeling that makes us want to do it again. It is something that just is beyond just emotion, but has to do with our neurology, our thinking, the way we analyze the stuff, and then it makes us come to our emotions, the way we feel, and so we want to keep connecting. Like you said, if you send yourself snaps every day, and then it accumulates. What us do that a bit too?
So Snapchat is made in such a way that if I don't know if I should say it has made it easier. Okay, let me say it has made it easier to keep up
Okay.
with each other, and so it is sort of removing the physical interactions and making it online with the snaps and stuff. And so, I mean, people find it, like I said, fulfilling that we've been able to keep up without us meeting physically.
Okay.
So maybe we've spoken, we've sent snaps, I've seen what you're doing, so we are faring. I don't need to see you
Okay.
in person. And with the snaps, so Snapchat is made in such a way that you have a snap score
Okay.
with the streaks too. And I don't know how, I don't know why, but people think that when you have a higher, yeah, it's an achievement when you have a higher snap score, because people are in millions and
Do they pay like?
that's no.
Do they pay like YouTube does if you commercialize
They
their
don't
channel?
pay.
They don't pay.
Not
But
in
then-
Africa,
not-
yes.
That's in Africa. Okay.
Yes, and if they pay for snap scores.
No, so you see the influencers
Okay,
that
we see, yeah.
the people who have
the ads and
verified
things.
the no, not the ads, but some Americans get royalties from Snapchat.
Really?
Yeah,
And the snap stars.
yeah, the stars. Yeah.
Oh, so they have stars.
Yeah, they have snap stars.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, it's kind of fulfilling. If they start paying for snap scores, then people are going to be really rich in Ghana because
People on it,
people are on
but
snap a lot.
so,
And
so that is part of what draws people.
yeah, it's
Okay.
sort of, yeah, it's engaging. That's the thing.
It's
It's engaging.
Okay. So how different is that from maybe WhatsApp, which now is becoming the old school for the old folks?
For children.
But I think Snapchat has a nicer user interface.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the people who are into software development, there's
Yes.
something they call user interface and user experience.
Okay.
They try to factor all those things into building an application.
Okay.
So Snapchat, you get to take your pictures. You don't even have to store it directly.
Okay.
Currently, Snapchat is saying
Right now, they
that
say
they'll
you
charge
pay.
us 15 CDs for to see our memories.
Okay.
And that, so they've created a very nice experience for the user.
Okay.
So I can be personally how I see Snapchat. If I'm streaking with Rachel, I know
Yes.
on a normal day,
Yes.
Rachel will streak me something about work.
Okay.
She'll streak me something that maybe she's eating, or she just wants to send me a video and we'll laugh about it. And if I see that today Rachel has sent me a dark screen,
Yes.
I'm like, hey, is Rachel okay? It helps me to kind of understand where the person is at, because maybe she doesn't want to talk about it, or she maybe she has given her phone to someone that will handle my streets for me. I'm not in the mood
Okay.
or something like that, but I want to keep my my streaks going. It helps me understand where people are at, because
Okay.
if you know that normally someone is doing this on a regular
On a
basis,
okay.
and today is different.
Okay.
You just-
So let me ask you very much. Isn't then that taking us to a virtual world where relationships, love, and connection as we know it may become so virtual that now the physical in-person relationships stand the chance of being extremely reduced, or maybe to a high extent annihilated? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the biggest deficiencies in our generation, like communication skills, one, and then like you are saying the real bonds, because I believe that so social media is supposed to start,
Okay.
not replace, not be the foundation for the bond you have with somebody.
Okay.
But it is very convenient for this generation one, because you have more control. If someone is texting you and you're not in the mood, you can decide not to reply.
Okay.
You can decide that, okay, you want to be alone. You can decide that this group you're not going to respond on. And even when you're even speaking with people,
Yes.
And it's something that has really surprised me. The way people text and the way people interact in real life, a lot of people, it doesn't match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, so you are this confident.
The text more, they are more
Like there's
visible
more
on virtual,
confidence,
on the
there's more
virtual
boldness
than
when
in
he's texting
person.
you than it's like he can't talk.
Okay.
And sometimes when I see, I was even sharing my mom the last time. Sometimes the way people post on their status,
Yes.
some of the things they're able to say, and I'm like, oh really? So you are thinking about all this in your mind, and it does show on your face.
Okay.
When I see you, like sometimes even the eloquence which people are constructing things and defending things on their status, and I meet them in person, I'm like, I'm surprised. And so it is. I mean, the way everything has a good and a bad side.
Yes.
Especially with technology, it is something that's become worrying because now people don't know how to connect
In person.
in person. So it has gone to marriages. It has gone to so like if we're interacting just on social media, friendships. Like some people say they've never really had a good like real bond that when they are sitting together in the house. So like you are saying, we are in the house but we are in different worlds. And so when it comes to like having a real friendship, a real connection, it's not there. And like the control, for instance, I think that for social media like this, people go there for entertainment, and a lot of us do that. People go there for exposure. So that's what I think Rita was saying, like music and the music space. You want to see what other people are doing.
Okay.
You want to learn. So it's like exposure and education. And then people also go there for fantasy, like a life that you can't have, you can enjoy it. So like you can see Mr. Easy's wedding, and it's flamboyant. You feel like you're, but you're not there. In your house, you're eating bread and cocoa, but you're seeing like a full-blown buffet, and you can enjoy it. So, and it's something that's driving you. So it's actually one of the things that is even driving them into the lifestyles they are in now, because now it's bringing all sorts of pressure. Instead of, I believe the entertainment is good because it has become easier for people to de-stress at like less cost. Like I'm saying, it's supposed to supplement, so it's supposed to replace the actual interactions and fun you have. But then also now the fantasy has brought pressure. So aside the exposure you're getting to see what people are doing and maybe learn from it, okay, I can do my wedding like this. Now you have become like, hey, I must do my wedding like this. So you don't have the money to do it. You are going to do loan, you are going to do this thing just because you want your listing to be on IG too. Now when you are thinking about getting a job, you are not thinking about taking care of your family. You are thinking about you can post Lamborghini on your IG and say that okay, we have made it. So that's the downside of it.
So then that means that then it's changing. Social media is changing the values.
Values that are supposed to be real,
Yes.
they are fake because people are doing it for optics. So we are talking about kindness and genuineness and things in friendship. People do it to show it on their real that, oh, this is how I treat my husband. But maybe if you go to a person's house, that's not the reality. People's interactions with their parents on camera is like, oh, we are the best family in the world. But that's not the reality on ground. So like I'm saying, if that was it and you were supplementing that, that's great. You are even encouraging other people the kind of life they should live. But now it has replaced, so it has created like you're saying, optics. Now people are more passionate about optics than even in ministry. Like, so people are doing things for what it will be seen. It's nice that you want it to be like this, but you're not really getting yourself there. You're just presenting yourself like you are there. And I think that's one of the big challenges like our generation has.
Awesome. So let me take a message on the call. So imagine your parents always thinking they are perfect. They have no faults in their eyes. Meanwhile, there is constant verbal abuses. Things like, who do you think you are? Why did I give birth to you if you cannot serve me? Quote and unquote. I quote again. I have not believed it if someone told me I'll give birth to such an irresponsible child, unquote. Wow. All the world like this where I find myself, cause it looks like everything wrong so somebody read for me, please.
Because it looks like everything wrong you can think a parent will do that will not be good for the child is what I'm going through. You cannot go out of the house. You cannot even talk to people after church, especially boys, because parents are paranoid. I'm very fed up right now, and I don't know how long until I burst out or break down.
Okay, please, before I read any further, all of you take a bite on that. What would you say to this? It's a lady because they say boy, so mean it's a lady. Yes, so please.
So like,
let's start from you, Rachel.
Like-
Then I come to you, Berman. Then I come to you, Rita.
so like
Give
what?
the lady. She didn't give her name. But I'm sure she
No.
doesn't want her parents to break her out. But she says she's 24 and all the wrong things. Like the expressions that she was saying.
Yeah.
I give birth. I mean,
Who are you?
who
I
are
give birth to
you?
you.
Yes.
So the impact that is having on her, and like I said, if her parents don't take care, she's 24 years. She can decide to move out. I mean, she's 24. She can decide to move out and go and live her own life. Once you are imposing these things on her, once like she's feeling the pressure. She's 24 years. Like
She's an adult.
she's an adult. I mean, so it's well. She said they are religious people. So
And sometimes the religious people, the
I think
corporates
that
as well.
yes.
Okay, yes.
I think that
Yes.
sometimes our parents have this it's also sort of like peer pressure from their peers
Okay.
that when who have you seen what the person is doing, doesn't mind boys and those things, and so it looks like to our parents, it looks like maybe that is what they are doing for their kid, and because their kid is successful or something, they want you, their child, to end up like that person. And so this is what they think they are doing. So they want to do the same thing to try and shape you to end up successful like the other person. So it's sort of peer pressure among themselves that so it's I think that she's 24. She should sit down and speak to her parents.
Hey,
Not
but
everyone has
she
parents.
says yes. So yes, later let me hear from the account you buy, and then we take the rest. We have to start touching now. Unbelievable, you guys have here. I think one of these days we have to do a part 2 because this has been an amazing. And we'll look at another angle altogether. Yes, Rita, please.
I think that Rachel, not everyone has parents that listen.
Okay.
People have. Personally, don't lose your faith if you have been able to grow in the faith, because I don't see it right for parents to impose on their children, even when they come of age, to be going to church at like specific times or doing so and so, or even be caning. Like she's an adult, why
Why are you
caning
kidding here?
24 back,
Yes, and for 24, for her to have interactions with a guy and you be upset, it's not, I don't think it's fair to her, because her classmates are having 5 children and things,
Yeah.
and you are trying to be super restrictive. For her, I'd say that she should just give it time. If she has a beloved or she's in a relationship, so it's just a matter of time. Because sometimes I just tell myself that it's just a matter of time you'll be out of here. Because for most of
Okay.
a little, but it's just a matter of time. But I think she shouldn't keep it to herself. She should speak to someone.
Okay. Take care of
Yes.
it.
But she shouldn't let the over religious lifestyle suppress her own faith, because sometimes in their quest to raise up good children, or
Yeah.
people who are walking in the faith and people who are in the stead, they tend to overdo certain things. Yes, some parents tend to overdo. That's how I see it. But I believe that when you do that, you make the child be like, which part of the Bible are you reading? And I always had this debate. You know how people say Ephesians 6 verse 1, children obey your parents. They skip a particular verse, which is always on my heart. I'm like, why? When you're reading the obey your parents in the Lord, you didn't see that fathers do not provoke your children.
So we are choosing a picking.
Yes, selective amnesia. You didn't see that part. Because parents also tend, and you're trying to do good, you end up stepping on their toes, and it's hard for African parents to say sorry.
Okay.
But it's not
Is it a good thing or is
It's
it a
not
good
good.
thing?
It's not
Okay.
good.
because
Hey, so you all agree? Remember, you agree to the ladies? It's not there. So
You should
remember,
say sorry.
the ladies have said it. What we also add, maybe address parents, because tell what you guys do, they're talking. Yes, Said what she's going to. I mean, at 24, that she can be caned. What do you want to say? Yes.
So funny enough, that I was actually the parents I was going to address.
Okay.
And what Rita said for the girl, I think is spot on. And I'll add that I think we didn't even really touch on it, but the God aspect. And Rachel mentioned a very key thing, that children are for God.
Okay.
And I believe very strongly that God knows the best way to raise every child,
Okay.
because He created them.
Okay.
And I think I've had this conversation with people before. For everybody, experiences, personalities, and things can easily direct you in a certain path,
Okay.
which may not always be the best, and sometimes may not be the best at a particular time.
Okay.
But God knows the best way at every stage for every person,
Okay.
even when it comes to religious matters,
Okay.
and especially for raising the child, because you may be inclined to being very liberal in your home because you are very restricted,
Okay.
and that may be totally wrong,
Okay.
because now your children are going to be even worse off than you were.
Okay.
You may be tempted to be even more restricted because you saw how people's children have been ruined by being liberal and pampering them and things. And so, I think we made a key statement. What we think it may not always be the best way to go about it. And God always plays the best role in that. I mean, to know the right balance, knowing where to extend grace, that this time I have to meet it hard on. This time I have to have a conversation. This time, I just have to pray. This time this is the counsel I should give, because even in one particular family, the way you raise your firstborn is not the way you raise your second. It's not you raise the third. My brothers are not the same I am. The gap is not so much. But there's no way that you can say that, okay, because I was successful with this way, it's the same way. And that's what sometimes even makes rifts even in the family. So, and this peer pressure thing Rachel was talking about, sometimes it's not even out. It's between the children.
Okay.
So the parents now are giving peer pressure to the siblings, because your brother was a prefect, he went to he got first class, he did medicine. You want to do maybe industrial engineering, you want to do textiles, you want to do
musician.
you want to do photography, and that's what maybe you do so well in. But because you are inclined to a certain way where you think that maybe only white collar jobs can make it, you're inclined to raise a person in that way. Maybe one way where you think that if your children are not forced, they can't get it. Then you'll be inclined to raise your children in that way. But I think that the key thing and the best way will be to let God help you every step of the way. Have conversations with him. And that's what I'm saying. Say, okay, so how should I do it for this child? Now this child too, how should I do it for this one as well? And I believe he will help you.
Awesome. Wow, our time is almost done. Let me take something on the call. It says, as parents, we are teaching our children how to treat us by how they treat their parents. That's their grandparents. I don't understand. I don't help me. Do you understand? We shouldn't also assume that loud is strong and quiet is weakness. Good morning, farm life. So the person didn't write his name. Do you understand that? Let me read the second one.
So I think it's saying so how they see their parents relating with their grandparents. That's how the children.
So how they relate to their parents? Okay, I get it.
We do what you do.
Okay. Good morning, farm life, Mr. MM. Thanks so much for creating this life university program. It's making us learn a lot. Listen to the knowledge you pass on to us. I sometimes feel so sad that a lot of parents lack parental knowledge. No doubt we have a lot of wayward children on our streets without any life value. God bless you abundantly. This is Justice from Community 1 Tema. Thank you very much, Justice, for grace, and grace keeps keeping us. So thank you for making time to listen to us. Let's take this last one, and then we would have to be wrapping up. It says, good morning, guys. If the girl couldn't obey her parents, let her leave and face the rock of life. Or the rock of life. May somebody help me, please. Somebody should read for me.
Face the rock of life. Your parents cannot deceive you. They want the best for you. Parents have the right to discipline their children. Please, the way the ladies in the studio are relating to the issues is unreasonable. They view the matter based on their gender facts, And that's not the best way to handle this matter. Biggest green from Butri.
And biggest green, I think, let me do a quick response. You see, this is part of our challenge. And that's why I said I'm glad you have come up with yours so we can engage. You see, being authoritarian means that you think you know it all. How can you say that beating a 24-year-old girl is cool? Even now, 10-year-old children are not being beaten. So why will you take a rod or whatever, belt or whatever? You see, it is dynamics of life have changed, and that's why we're having this conversation. So yes, think again. Is that the only way you can get things done? And that's one. Two, they've established here today that the person can easily live a double life, because what you are forcing them to do, they can put it up for you and appearance, but that may not be what they may be inside. And so if you want authenticity, then openness, transparency, and respect. That was a big respect.
Yeah.
Is key. Okay. Hi all. My dad for some years now addresses my older brother and myself as my brothers. It gets to a time parents got to relax, knowing and trusting that they have truly guided their children well during their elementary years. If you do right in the early years, you will have no cause to worry when they are older. That's me from Legon. All right. Thank you. So what will be your opening, your closing comments, and then if you want to do any shout outs, and then I'll do my shout outs, and then we'll be out of it. But you've been amazing. Again, we'll look at we couldn't even go into a deep area of love and connection, or we'll do that. Get me? But believe me, we'll connect again. We'll surely have a second and a third. Yes. So Rachel, what will be your closing comments, please? And any shout out as well.
Okay, I think that for parenting and marriages, as we started with, there are not walks in the park.
Okay.
There will be sleepless nights, there will be arguments, there will be a lot of things. But then, how the three of us here have been raised up with God. Factor God in everything. Factor God in everything. Like Brema said, you ask God, how should I raise this person? In your marriages, you ask God. Maybe your husband has pissed you off or something. God, please help me handle this thing. I mean, once you have God, once you are including God in everything you are doing, you'll be fine.
Awesome. That's the voice of Rachel Gakwe. Thank you, Mrs. Reverend Gilbert and Constance Gakwe. Yes. I want to acknowledge your parents. I hope you don't mind. Though you are here in your own capacity, not in your capacity. Yes, very much, please.
So I will also say a very good friend shared this with me, that our fears often reveal where we trust God the least.
Okay.
And we can see that, I mean, for a lot of well-meaning parents, sometimes they are driven to such approach, they are afraid.
Okay.
And so trust God, and it shows that maybe that's an area where you have to work even more closely with, especially with your marriage or with raising your children. And like we see now, and we highlighted a lot, we cannot go with force completely. We now have to look at how we can create a safe environment for the children to grow. And you know that the dynamics will be different, but like Rachel said, if God is in the mix, He help you handle all the dynamics, and because at the end of the day, the transformation He does it. So your advice, your prayer, your guidance, your control,
Yes.
it's God who is able to make that transformation in their lives. So you just work with Him, you show you what to do, and then you could be able to raise up the right children.
Awesome. Yes, Rita.
Okay,
So that's the. So big shout outs to Michael and Abigail
Big shout
Mensah.
outs.
All right, Rachel.
Okay, so I'd end with Rachel's statement
Okay.
that children are God's. You are just a steward.
Okay.
So if anything at all, you should seek God's guidance, because the Bible tells us that the heart of kings are not only those in power, it could be anyone, and the hands of God, and He tells in any direction He pleases. So you just talk to God, since He's the one who has the hand to turn things in the direction He pleases, and He will come through. And I mean, parents, you are doing a good job. You've tried, but you can only do so much. So don't be too hard on yourselves, and don't let your peers pressure you. A big shout out to my family and to all those in my circle.
So that's it. Okay. So thank you also to Sylvester and Priscilla Segbaya. Yes. So you are amazing. Thank you so much for making time.